Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Pranky-Kling and I'm the principal of Central Heights, and this is an overview of our theory of action and our strategic actions. Our theory of action for Central Heights is if all staff in Central Heights are in collaborative conversation within and across teams, work to increase social, emotional, and behavioral competencies for students and staff, and engage in the PLC 4 questions to identify student learning successes and gaps where SEL, behavioral, and academic data are used to inform teaching decisions and practices, and all adults engage in self-reflection and courageous conversations related to privilege, race, access, and bias, and promote restorative practices and use within all spaces, and leverage targeted Tier 2 and 3 trainings for students who are experiencing disproportional discrepancies in their school experiences, and encourage and support student leadership of opportunities that increase in brevity as students age through our school, and build and sustain two-way communication with families and community. Then we will begin to eliminate inequities experienced by our students who have been historically marginalized, as specifically evidenced by decreasing disproportionality of behavior referrals and out-of-school suspensions. Our problem of practice is how might we increase social, emotional, and behavioral competencies of students and staff so that Black students and students who represent as 2 or more races do not have disproportionate numbers of behavior referrals and out-of-school suspensions. Our strategic actions for students include focus groups. This looks like direct minutes with staff. That could be student services staff, admin, some of our advisors, and that could be individual or small group time. And some of the areas we focus this attention on include motivational interviewing, social skills, attendance, stress and coping, anger management, suspension reduction, coaching, CBITS, behavioral health in schools, and boys group. This year, and towards the end of last year, we started using a harmful words reflection, and we're tracking that data. So if a student in our building is using a harmful word, we take the time to teach them the history of the word and ask them to reflect on why they used that particular word. And this work has helped decrease second offenses of using harmful words for individual students, and decreasing those second offenses, therefore decreases suspensions. We are also focusing on increasing belonging. So that looks like positive phone calls home, receiving positive postcards, family fun nights where we get families to come in and see what their students are up to and meet each other's friends. Those are really fun nights. And we're also doing some work in our SB30s to build community with our community circles. Strategic actions for staff. We have very specific trainings that we're working on this year, and they include that our literacy teachers receive monthly training to add intervention skills to their educator toolboxes. So we found that not all literacy teachers in middle school were trained to teach children how to read. So some of those strategies that are typically used earlier on are really helpful for students who are behind in literacy in middle school. And so we are working on getting that training into the hand of our teachers, and they in turn use it the very next day. We're seeing a lot of great work through those efforts. Our math teachers are engaging in AVMR training. So similar to literacy teachers, they have more skills for students who are missing some of the earlier math concepts, that we can work on building some of those skill gaps with students during WIN. And in our PLTs, that's our time together as, like teachers who all teach 8th grade literacy, for example. We meet weekly to talk about what students are doing and what we can do to cause learning to increase in classes. We're also working on staff wellness. We're working on building the muscle of finding bright spots here in our educational work, and we are increasing our use of the district wellness offerings, and our overall use has gone up in the past 2 years. And so we really like to see that across our staff. And we continue our efforts to build activities that connect staff with one another outside of their day-to-day teams. That looks like doing staff circles that are differentiated across our staff, and having fun alongside playing some games that get people moving across the building throughout the day during their prep times, and just getting people to talk to staff they otherwise wouldn't throughout their day-to-day. We are also leveraging, through all of our professional development and our staff meetings, work towards disrupting inequities. Currently, we're working on learning more about what we can do to become an anti-racist building, and that looks like learning about, reading, and discussing white supremacy culture characteristics. And so our staff has read an article that describes these characteristics, and we've been reflecting on how those characteristics show up at school and in school systems. And our next steps this spring, now that we've learned, some of that history, are to come up with action items as a whole school that we can weave into our 100-day plan and our future work that works on disrupting those inequities created by that culture and system. We have a data team that meets weekly, and they really leverage a lot of this information to make sure our staff and students are getting benefits from our work, and making sure that our work is always trending in the direction it needs to based on the data we're receiving on our students and staff needs. And so this team consists of student services staff, counselor, social worker, admin assistant, and school psych. Our administrators, so myself and Mr. Brooks, our restorative justice team, and our instructional coach. Together, we analyze current trends and problem solve around the issues that our students are facing. That could be behavior, attendance, engagement, basic needs, anything that's coming up for students based on what our staff have told us or what we've noticed or what our data is telling us. And we also do some of the tracking for communicating home just to make sure a lot of those positive connections are being met. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.